Hello, Chișinău, bună dimineața sau bună ziua. Bine v-am găsit. Haideți, Rockit, să ne trezim puțin. Da. Am o scuză pentru intro-ul ăsta. Asta sunt eu pe vremea când piesa asta chiar era un hit. So that's me when this was actually a hit on the MTV, so let's rock it and switch to English mode. Okay, I had enough time to do enough mistakes, so I'm in front of you to teach you how not to repeat my mistakes. I'm a co-founder of a group that is from three companies, media, marketing, and ad technology. We work with a lot of international partners also, like Facebook, Microsoft, Shazam, Skype, and so on and so forth. We run 6 offices across Europe. Enough with the blah blah PR. So I'm here today to talk about digital marketing in Google and Facebook era. And after I decided to call my presentation like this, I kind of realized that I agree with this guy, the head of PepsiCo, which is the guy that is handling a lot of money worldwide. And he's saying that there is no such thing as digital marketing. It's marketing, most of which happens to be digital. So you can tweet now that digital marketing is dead, because actually when we're thinking about digital marketing, we are doing the mistake to consider digital as being in the same line with radio, with TV, or with newspapers, which is wrong. Actually, digital is an environment, is a medium where we can do a lot of things. We can fall in love, we can do e-commerce, we can spread news, we can get informed, we can get disinformed, and so on and so forth. So this medium is another thing that the TV, news, print, or radio, so we need to treat it accordingly. So the correct title is Marketing in Google and Facebook era. Everything that you will see today in my presentation is my personal opinion. It's not involving any of our partners. It's not involving any of my employees. So I will say a lot of silly things. So it's only my fault. Actually, we are living in a very interesting era as marketeers. We have a very difficult life. Google, Facebook, everybody's changing something every day. The technology is changing, everything is changing. So our life is a hell. We have a lot of problems to solve for our clients. We have a lot of problems as an industry. We have a lot of problems as content producers, as media, and in any field of the industry you are looking, the changes are very dramatic and very fast. So we permanently need to be updated. We don't like the word problems. That's why we invented challenges. So my presentation today will be structured in some challenges that we have today in digital marketing and some solutions I think we can apply in order to solve those challenges. Okay. The first challenge is that we are living into an environment that is dominated by Google and Facebook, and also by a very big ecosystem, and this is the TV ecosystem. We attempt to diminish the importance of the TV ecosystem, but I think this is wrong. We are actors in a movie, and the movie could be called like this, like Face Kong versus Godzilla, because they are fighting a lot. And I have a question. This is a revenue. How many of you think that this is the revenue that Google is doing, like, I don't know, in 1 week? It's per? Not that good. Actually, it's the revenue per hour. This is the average revenue per hour that Google did in the last quarter of last year. So actually, by the end of this presentation, the guys from Google will cash in $4 and something million US, which is pretty good. The poor guys from Facebook are doing only 2.6 million per hour. So it's still a startup, right? Okay, so we are living into an environment where Google and Facebook are deciding pretty much everything that is happening. They have like at least 40 or 50% of them are as a market share, with a bigger slice for Google, of course. So everything that we do needs to be aligned to this reality. And they want more, of course. It's good. They both are fantastic companies. They innovated a lot, so they are entitled to want more. And they are doing everything in this respect. So let's start with Facebook. So they launched notes for blogging. They launched video to try to kill or affect at least a little bit YouTube and to grab the TV money. They launched instant articles. They want publishers not to use their own platforms, but to use Facebook platform to spread out their content. What else? They launch instant ads, of course. They launch different e-commerce. Now you can do payments using your messenger. So they also will kill, I know, the payment industry, Visa, MasterCard. They should be worried. They want us to use Facebook at work. And actually yesterday I realized that at a certain extension, Facebook knows about me more than I'm able to remember about myself. So in this Friends Day thing yesterday, I was realizing that there are pictures and moments I completely forget about that. So at a certain extension, those platforms are aware about things about us we don't realize, okay? Google, what they did, they created this fantastic environment where they flatten anything standing between eyeballs and ad inventory with Google Chrome, with Android and stuff. They expanded their footprint in ad inventory. They also mine information on every user and so on and so forth. They come there with one password to find out who's behind the screen, and they want to target people, not pixels. Both Google and Facebook, all the global players want to go directly to us as persons, which is great. They do what I call the Trojan horse strategy, so they give us what we want. Very nice platforms, very nice services, I know, Google Analytics for free, content platforms for free, and so on and so forth, and they grab what they need. And what they need is data. They need to know everything about us in order to sell better those audiences. Data is the new oil. This used to be just a way of speaking, but actually from a few weeks ago, it is true because, look, Facebook is more valuable than ExxonMobil now. Also Google, which is basically mostly a software company with a lot of advertising and data services, beat it Apple, and so on and so forth. So let's take a look at some very famous websites and to whom they are giving their data. So for example, CNN, you see all the sources that are grabbing data from CNN there. Guardian, oh my God, this is TechCrunch. It didn't fit into the size of the screen to monitor all the sources that are grabbing data from TechCrunch. And now let's see to who Google is giving data. Okay, YouTube is giving data to Google itself. So why? Because data is the new oil, and data is very precious. Google and Facebook have the power and the money because they have the biggest quantity of data in the world. And on top of that, they are walled gardens of data. So they use their own data about consumers in order to improve their products, in order to improve the advertising experiences, in order to improve everything, actually, and gain even more. Of course, other players are trying to scratch those walls. Some of them are having some success. I know, in ex-Soviet countries, there are a lot of local players also in China, and so on and so forth. But globally speaking, Google and Facebook are in a big data war. Okay, what's the solution for, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, don't get me wrong, I'm just saying that this is a reality we have to check and have in mind when we are doing our strategies. We can be partners with Google and Facebook. We can be frenemies. This is a new word describing friend and enemy. We can, maybe if you're crazy, you can also compete. So one of the solutions that are out there is called programmatic. What is programmatic? Actually, the programmatic is the democratization of data access. So other independent players tried to create ecosystems to grab data and to own data and to find better solution to market the products. Looks very simple. Actually, it is. It's like the right message to the right person at the right time on your own data. And this is a thing you will see more and more in your market also, and you need to be aware of it and to study it in order to stay in the game. We created this Project Agora thing, which is a platform where premium publishers from Hungary, Romania, Greece, and the Emirates are putting together their inventory, and they are selling their inventory in the same way that Google and Facebook are doing, in a programmatic manner, real time, with very sharp audiences in a very nice environment. Because programmatic grew a lot, so actually 2014 was the inflection point for programmatic, and you have to have this in mind. Why? Because otherwise, maybe a robot will take your job. Because everything is automated now, and you saw the presentation before where even the content is automated, so a robot can also write stories, not only taking care of the results of your advertising campaign. So you need to know tech, you need to understand the environment, you need to understand what's going on in order to stay in the game and stay relevant. This is my message. Okay. Challenge number 2. The challenge number 2 is a delicate subject. It's called ad blocking, and also the low view rate of our actual banners. The banners that everybody hates, or most of the people. A smart guy told 150 years ago that half of the money he spends on advertising is wasted, but the trouble is he doesn't know which half. This is the head of US Postal Office back in 18-something. Now we know which half is wasted, and even Google admits it, and we admit it as a local publishers and ad networks that half of the banners are never saw by nobody. Okay, on top of that, we have this very aggressive kind of doing advertising. It was kind of funny that the guy that invented the pop-up apologizes recently. Thank you very much, not taken. And yeah, the truth is that interrupting people is rude. And this is a quote from Mike Schoffer, the CTO of Facebook in Dublin last year. Yeah, it's rude. You don't have to interrupt people. You need to find ways to communicate in an efficient manner what you have to say, not just popping up in the door. It's like an outdoor advertising will come in front of your car and at the light into an intersection, okay? And those are some figures from our networks. So we did a survey last year. So almost 14% out of the total browsers in our network are ad blocked. And really annoying thing is that the fact that in sports and high tech and where are the most, let's say, the jigs are there, is over 25%. So we have to have this in mind. When we build your content websites, when you run your campaigns, and when you are thinking about what you do for your clients or for your readers, you have to have this in mind. The display banner is having a problem, and this problem is not decreasing, is increasing. I tend to agree with Larry Page. He said that the best response to the rise of the ad blockers is to create better ads. It's true. You can also pay if you have enough money, but let's not insist on this too much. And the solution. I think the solution is, yes, indeed, better ads, and also native, and better content, and I will give you some examples here. So, for example, this guy that jumped out of the space in order to impress a Romanian girl, of course, nobody was really bothered on the fact that everywhere was Red Bull, right? So it was content. It was really good content. And on the contrary, I think people appreciated Red Bull for the fact that they supported such a spectacular thing, right? Okay, you don't have to invest millions of US dollars or euros or whatever to gain this, like in this case. You can just be creative. Like the guys from Oreo did when they just put this tweet on Twitter and Facebook when the lights goes down in the Super Bowl, and everybody was annoyed about that. It was a huge success, and actually they launched the real-time marketing thing with this spectacular idea. It was, like, I think 5 minutes of thinking, what if we are doing a Photoshop really fast and just push it on Twitter, okay? So, about native and content ads, native and content doesn't mean advertising without the sign that this is an advertising. It means smart content, smart execution, smart formats, and fun, informative, real-time if it's possible. And I have a nice example here. I will leave you with that for 1 minute in order to drink some water.
In
December 2012, the DIY and home improvement store chain Hornbach bought a Russian tank and transformed it over the next months into a product that underlined decades of Hornbach's exceptional market positioning. A product created out of passion for DIY and a fair share of madness. The Hornbach hammer was born, extremely limited to 7,000 pieces. The Hornbach fans were involved, even though they didn't know at first what the tank was all about. A web film revealed the secret. The desire grew. The first limited sales of the hammer sold out in under 5 minutes. The campaign started in print, out of home, and television. The rush for the Hornbach hammer began. The Hornbach hammer became part of popular culture. Even the official sale in stores ended after only 2 hours. The campaign seemed to be over, but immediately restarted when Hornbach proclaimed the final 700. A central website provided daily updates on exotic places where the final 700 remaining Hornbach hammers were being sold. People gave it all, literally, including traveling up to 600 kilometers. At the end, the hammer's original sale price of 25 euros had risen to 656 euros. The fan base had grown by 15%. The online platform had over 15 million hits. But far more important than that, during the promotional activities in the highly competitive German DIY market, one brand clearly stood out.
Anyway, so it's advertising, but it's also fun. So it's nothing like, okay, I don't like this piece of content, and it's not ad blocked, and is also entertaining. Another important trend is the thing that is called the marketing in the moment. Actually, we have a big challenge because the same person can be very different from morning to evening, and we have now tools that are able to target those people and to create different personas. So in the morning, she's a very serious business lady with a tablet. In the evening, she's a crazy party girl. So it's the same person, so a different message, a different approach, a different device is there, so we need to take this into consideration. And we have the technology to do that. For example, this is an ad that is a very interesting example. It's baked with data, actually. So it's taking the time, it's taking the location, in this example is San Francisco or New York, the gender of the potential target, and also a very interesting thing, they take the weather forecast feed. So the ad is adapted, not only is adapted from those 4 parameters, gender, weather, and also location, which is very nice. So technology is out there in order to overcome ad blocking, in order to remain in the game and remain relevant. You need to think at technology combined with content, combined with creativity, and be relevant, remain relevant. I have another example here. I will skip it because it's one of our products. I don't want you to think that I'm here to advertise for my company. Anyway, another challenge, very fast, is the mobile. Because the mobile is the new first screen. The phone is not a phone anymore. I'm sure that you heard the story about the power of our smartphones that is bigger than the combined power of the IBM computers that sent the man to the moon. Which is pretty fascinating. This was happening not too long time ago. And this is true, we can launch a rocket with this thing. Instead we are doing this, but it's still nice. Yeah, by 2020, 80% of the world population will own a thing like this, a smartphone. You saw all the news with the Syrian people that are coming and they are having smartphone, nothing else but the smartphone. Yeah, because this became a vital object in our daily life. So we need to take this into consideration when we build our campaigns. Look at those figures from my market, from Romania. So this is the number of mobile users on each major network. Of course, mine is number one, but this is another story. And this is the growth. In only 1 year, the growth is more than 100% from mobile devices in all the major top 3, let's say, networks in Romania. So the explosion of the consumption in digital data, in digital mobile, is a trend we have to have in mind. And the solution is very simple. It's a big gap in between the time we are spending on this thing and the time we are spending on TV, but the number of campaigns and the money that are investing in TV compared with mobile is completely debalanced. So you still have time to catch up. Challenge number 4, video ad, not TV ad. The bad news for digital industry is that the TV will conquer the internet space, not the other way around. And I have some facts and figures. In Romania, Facebook dominates the 18 to 35-year-old audience compared with total TV, okay, which is great for Facebook. Still, the consumption, the number of campaigns, the number of video advertising campaigns in online is increasing a lot. But if you put that in context, and we are talking about the money, those are the money that are grabbed by the internet, okay? Programmatic and digital video compared with the TV. So the elephant is still in the room. Even if we have fantasies about digital that will TV is not yet the time. And the bad news is also that the TV is coming in our territory. And the ratio of power between TV and digital is 100 to 1. So for each television station that is out there, there are 100 internet businesses. Okay? So the market is very consolidated and they are very strong. And they are learning programmatic. They have money to hire the best people. And we are into a project with the big TV station to make their inventory be sold programmatic. What this is meaning? This is meaning that they actually can have different ads in the advertising break based on the people that are behind the screens. So exactly like in online, you know. This is a movie about what Sky in UK did with programmatic. I will skip it because I'm running out of time, but I'm well happy to share it with you if you're curious about that. The solution here, it's a new standard, is the digital multi-screen campaigns. So you have to think about that. You're not into the digital online business, you're into the digital period. So you have to think about integrating the online with TV very soon. Challenge number 5 is the VR content. The virtual reality and the virtual reality ads. The virtual reality is not virtual anymore, so it's here. We saw this spectacular thing that Microsoft launched, the HoloLens, which is actually coming with the virtual reality into a real world. I'm sure the guys from Google will relaunch Glass, maybe with another name. And Oculus is already here. It's launched, and Mark announced the world that the shipments are here. The solution is simple. We have to think already how we can create immersive experiences for our future clients, because this is a proof of concept, and you can imagine this being a 3D thing into Oculus. So the immersive experience for brands, for content, for journalism. Imagine journalism when you can be able to just put your glasses and see, I don't know, the conflict that is going on in Ukraine. Or you can put your glasses and be in Syria and understand why those people are running from there. So it's an amazing new opportunity. Look here, for example, you can, even for travel, for example, you can create the actual experience. You can not only see how, the beach is or how the hotel looks like, you can actually go underwater if you're into the diving and see how it's underwater, what's the clarity. It's fascinating. So it's a completely new thing that will grow in a very fast manner. I'm pretty sure about it. Okay, the conclusion for today's presentation. Why is this important? Why do I care? Okay, I think you should care, even if maybe some of the things I was just presenting look very far away from you. It's not very far away from you, you are just around the corner. It's a new ecosystem that is born, and the new ecosystem will come like a tsunami on all the markets we are in. It's media combined with marketing, combined with technology, and there are new kind of businesses that appears out there, the digital content, the ad tech, the martech. We need to create new jobs. So for example, now we have engineers, like our coders, programmers, that are into sales, because they have to sell things to the e-commerce guys, and they have to explain them how they will optimize what they are doing for them, and so on and so forth. So there are mixed businesses. And there is a quote from Forbes. This is from 2012. I say by 2015, the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer, will spend more on IT than the CTO, the Chief Technological Officer. I tend to agree with that also. And it was in 2012. And the breaking news is that we are in 2016, so Happy New Year. So we must understand what's going on in the world, and we have to understand technology if we want to keep our job relevant, and if we want to keep us relevant in the market we are in. A final recommendation for you, if you like to visit our IC Fest Academy platform, you can see there are a lot of content, a lot of presentations like this, actually not like this, much better than this. I recommend you to spend half an hour per day, instead of looking on Breaking Bad or whatever, just look on one presentation, or I don't know, Pornhub, whatever. Half an hour, it's enough, and I think you will become better professionals and better. It's a password thing, so if you want access to IC Fest Academy, just find me on my blog, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, email, whatever is working for you. Thank you very much.